Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with the daily technical updates. And we have some interesting developments on the US market last night. The potential shoulder pattern that has emerged over the past couple of months seems to have been destroyed, demolished with the move yesterday back above the rising trend line here, back above the what could have been the right shoulder high. And back above the cloud. The only thing that is missing now is getting the RSI back above 60 threshold. If we do get that, well, then we are back in confirmed bullish trend. There's a little bit of resistance around 45.27 around that level, but it's not that strong. So let's see here the next couple of days. Will RSI be rejected or can it get back above 60 to confirm the uptrend? The MACD has also turned around with the sending a signal of likely higher levels. So quite interesting development there. Basically the same picture on the Nasdaq. We can start deleting these reversal indicators. We closed just a few dollars, a few cents above minor resistance here at this line here, 13,355. So it seems like also the right shoulder is about to be demolished. We just need the RSI to close back above 60. Then we are in bullish territory. We need the index to close back above the cloud, and it's back in bullish territory. It never closed below the cloud though, so it was kind of a neutral position. But now it seems like it's breaking bullish on the Seng. They opened high this morning above the resistance, but closing back below the 18,562, and that could be it for Hang Seng. And I think we could see some more selling pressure the coming days. On the European markets, DAX testing the 155 moving averages here, and the underside of the cloud. RSI still below 60, so we are in a negative sentiment. So it hasn't really broken bullish despite breaking this falling trend line, but the falling trend lines, they're not that strong anyway. So next couple of days could be interesting. If we get a close above 16,060, we are in bullish trend on the DAX. AEX is still range bound between 730 and 750 levels. Just below the 200 moving average. If we get a close above here, well, then there's room up to 763. On the Belgian markets, 36.96, as we talked about yesterday, is the level that it needs to break above to confirm an uptrend. CAC 40, on the other hand, actually broke bullish. First, with a break above or close above the falling trend line here, above falling trend line. It's back above the cloud. It's back above the 100 moving average. The only thing missing a little bit is we would like to see RSI closing above 60 to confirm this bullish trend. If it does, well, then there's room up to test the all-time highs here at 75.81. On the FX markets, we have euro-dollar still trading in this falling channel here. Haven't even tested the upper falling trend line. It could possibly do it today, but let's see. There could be a little bit of correction space or room for correction up to around 109.50, maybe 109.75, but we have the 55 and the moving 100 moving average coming down. They're kind of providing some resistance. So we are in a confirmed downtrend. However, the dollar index seems to have started a correction with room down to around the 38.2 retracement at 102.41, but the 200 moving average will add a little bit of support despite the fact that it's actually declining, but there's no RSI divergence. It's in a positive sentiment and everything, so there is further upside potential after correction. So please look out for when it starts turning around again. It is not necessarily dropping to 102.41 before that is happening. Dollar yen, more or less like the other yen pairs, trading. I mean, we are still in an uptrend, but the failing move up here yesterday is quite interesting. But we need a break below close below 144.50 for a larger correction down to around 142. But it seems like we are a little bit in trading water here, range-bound mode. The RSI is in divergence, showing that. But if it can break above its falling trend line, then there could be more upside potential towards 150 level on the dollar yen. Euro yen in this range between 156.85 and 159.50, trying another time to get above. Let's see here if it can actually break above that resistance level there, or this upper range. If it does, then we're looking at 160.60 very quickly, but potential 162.15 level quite quickly. Cable really frustrating at the moment. I mean, yeah, we are in a downtrend, but it seems like it's pivoting around the 125.90. So really hard to predict direction other than, yes, we are in a downtrend, but it's not really that convincing. But I think eventually it will give way. On the commodities, starting as usual, more or less, with gold, also trying to build an uptrend. There's some resistance here around 1946, 47. Just below 1950 here, where we also have the moving average, 100 moving average coming down, and there's some cloud resistance, and we're still having the RSI below 60. I want to see RSI closing above 60 before I go to full bullish mode on gold. Silver took off from the 24.10 level yesterday, moving higher, and I think we will see it test the 25 and a quarter minor resistance here next few days. Room up to around 26. RSI is pointing in that direction. Let's have a look at platinum, which we talked about yesterday, and there was an update out from our commodities expert Ole Hansen with some comments from me yesterday. You can find them on Twitter account, you can find it on sectoral platforms and our websites, of course, where we discussed platinum moving higher. Key resistance at 995, but we are in a bullish sentiment. We are bullish trend and everything. The final straw for full-blown bullish picture is that we also close back above the cloud and back above the moving averages there. Palladium, on the other hand, still trading in this range here between 1200 and 1346-ish level. Finally, on the energy, after correcting 38.2 on the Brent, it has picked up pace again, picked up momentum, and I think we could see a test of the 82.10 around that level, 82.20 resistance here next few days. I think if we see a break above, well, then we are looking at levels around 92.5. And what we can do, we can have an educated guess with using the Fibonacci right there. So 90.45 and 92.81 was and around 92.50 here, I think, over the next few days. And on natural gas, can't really, struggling for upside momentum really, so range bound a little bit. Finally, moving on to the US 10-year yields. We are in a correction phase, as we discussed yesterday, currently at 38.2 retracement. at 411 level there. But we could dip down to test the lower rising trend line and the 61.8, a retracement just below 4% before I think we will see an uptick in US 10-year yields and uptrend to resume. There's no RSI divergence which indicate we could see that. However, if you go back and look at my technical update yesterday on US 10-year, the future is a little bit different story. So it's really not confirming each other. It's pointing all over the place basically, because here we have RSI divergence on the selling. We have a kind of a bottom pattern here, and we are testing now resistance at 110.12. That could be key, and of course the upper falling trend line. So keep an eye on those levels. But if it starts moving back here, well, then we could see a resume to previous lower levels. All right, that's all for today, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Happy trading.